Friends, in the previous episode we saw that because of an unknown virus, all the humans on Earth die. However, somehow a man named Philip survives and keeps wandering around in search of other humans. But when he doesn't find anyone, he gets distressed and decides to take his own life. Just then, he sees smoke rising from behind a hill. Philip quickly goes there and discovers that a woman named Carol is still alive. Philip brings Carol to his home, but her strange behavior and non-stop talking start irritating him a lot, so he asks her to live in another house. Later, one day, Carol tells him that their meeting is not a coincidence, but that they have been brought together for a purpose, and that purpose is to increase the population of the Earth. At first, Philip refuses to do all this with her, but later he too starts feeling like it and agrees. After that, Philip and Carol get married and start living happily together. For some days, everything goes really well. But then one day, they meet a girl named Melissa. Melissa is so beautiful that Philip falls for her the moment he sees her and starts unsuccessfully trying to impress her. He even shaves his beard so that Melissa might start having feelings for him. Later, one day when Philip and Melissa are drinking beer together, Melissa, in her drunken state, tells him that she has become tired of living alone and that she also has some needs she wants to fulfill. Hearing this, Philip becomes happy and thinks that maybe Melissa also wants to spend a wedding night with him. So he goes to Carol and asks her for a divorce. But he's unable to do so because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings. Meanwhile, we see an Audi car approaching, in which a man notices a board placed outside Philip's town. On the board, Philip has written that one human is still alive. Seeing this, the man heads toward that town. That night, all three of them are partying together. During the party, Carol tells Melissa that before marriage, Philip had told her that even if she were the last woman left on Earth, he would not spend a wedding night with her. But then, 2 days later, no one knows what happened. They got married. Just then, their drinks run out, so Carol goes to get more. As soon as Carol leaves, Philip asks Melissa about what she had told him earlier, that she was desperate to spend a wedding night with someone. Melissa says that she had just said that casually while drunk. She then asks, "Did you tell Carol about this?" Philip replies that no, it will remain a secret between the two of them. Hearing this, Melissa becomes happy. Just then, Carol returns with the drinks and tells Melissa that she and Philip are now going to spend their wedding night because the responsibility of increasing Earth's population lies on them. Philip doesn't like this and tells Carol that there was no need to say such a thing in front of Melissa. But Carol ignores him and says, "Come on, let's get to work because we have to produce a lot of children." The next day, Philip goes to meet his friends and tells them, "Look guys, I genuinely want to increase the population. But this work can be done much faster if I get both those women pregnant." After that, he goes straight to Melissa and asks her whether she really thinks the population should increase. She replies that yes, the human population should definitely increase. But Philip completely misunderstands her words and happily jumps back to Carol. He tells her, "My dear, today a dirty thought came into my mind, that in order to increase the population, I'll have to get Melissa pregnant too." He explains all this in a way as if he has absolutely no interest in spending a wedding night with Melissa. But Carol has already understood that Philip is desperate to be intimate with Melissa. So she clearly tells him that she does not want to see him with Melissa. Philip says, "But you were the one who said you wanted as many children as possible. But when they grow up, then what? Do you want them to start spending wedding nights with each other?" Hearing this, Carol starts thinking and asks for some time. Philip says, "Yes, do think about it, whether our children will have fun among themselves or with Melissa's children." As soon as he mentions Melissa's name, Carol asks, "Have you already talked to her about this?" He replies that there's no need to talk to her. She's anyway ready to be with anyone. Carol says, "Anyone or you, I know everything. You're the one dying to have fun with her." Then she throws him out of the house. After that, she goes to Melissa and tells her everything Philip had said. Then Melissa comes to Philip and asks him what all he told Carol. He says he didn't tell her anything. Melissa replies, "You told her everything, that I want to make you work in my fields with your axe. Whereas I had already told you that I said all that while drunk. And do you know what Carol said to me? That I want to steal you from her." Philip says, "Wait, Let me think, what all did I say? Hearing this, Melissa abuses him and leaves. Later that night, Philip tries to convince both of them, saying, "Look, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have talked to you both like that." But neither of them listens to him. And when he keeps apologizing continuously for 4 to 5 hours, then both of them agree to meet him. They call him inside. Carol says that both of them have thought a lot about it and have decided that if they really want to increase the population, then why not let him spend a wedding night with Melissa as well? Philip says, "Come on, stop making fun of me now." Carol replies, "No, we've thought this through properly. I don't want our children to end up reproducing only among themselves. It would be better if our children reproduce with Melissa's children." Hearing this, Philip says, "Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ready. Let's do it quickly." Carol says, "First listen to everything carefully. We've made a rule. You can only be with Melissa 3 days a week. And while doing it, you must not enjoy it at all. And once she gets pregnant, you will have no physical relationship with her." Philip replies that he has understood everything clearly, that he respects these rules, and that he will do this work with full dedication and honesty. After that, he runs back to his house, shouting loudly, "Wow, this is amazing. Now the fun will begin." The next morning, Carol comes to Philip's house and give him dry fruits, telling him to eat them so that he can get Melissa pregnant properly. That night, Philip takes Melissa to a deserted place where he has beautifully decorated a bed under the open sky. He also gives her dark chocolates to eat. Suddenly, Melissa pounces on Philip and starts kissing him. But Philip pushes her away and says that tonight is very special. Then he sings for her and sets off fireworks. Nothing really happens, except that the Audi car that was heading toward the town sees the fireworks and starts coming in that direction. Philip is preparing for the wedding night when suddenly the car arrives there. A fat man named Todd gets out, and both Philip and Melissa are shocked, wondering where he came from. Todd hasn't seen a human being for 2 years, so he becomes very happy on seeing them. He says that he was leaving the town when he saw the fireworks and turned his car around. Philip, irritated, says, "Oh, so you came here asking for directions?" Todd apologizes, saying he disturbed them. Melissa says it's fine. They weren't doing anything important anyway. Philip takes Melissa aside and asks what she's saying and what about their wedding night. Melissa replies that now they have another man to do this work. Philip goes and tells everything to Carol, who becomes very happy on hearing it. She says it's good that they found another man. Melissa will spend the wedding night with him, and Philip won't have to work in 2 places. After that, all 4 of them sit together. Todd tells them that he came here after reading the board outside the town. He also says that his favorite movie is Jishika by Jishiki John. Melissa says that it's her favorite too. Philip jumps in and says it's his favorite as well, even though he hasn't even seen the movie. Carol then says, "Philip, isn't The Godfather your favorite movie?" Philip replies angrily, asking if she's crazy and saying The Godfather isn't even a movie and that Jishika by Jishiki John is the best movie in the world. He even praises Shah Rukh Khan's performance in it. Melissa asks him which scene he liked the most. Philip says there are many good scenes and asks for time to think. Carol asks if he has even seen the movie. Todd says Philip should watch it because it's a great movie. Philip then mocks Todd by asking about his weight. Todd replies that he weighs 150 kilos and has been this way since childhood, and that people used to make fun of him in school too. Hearing this, everyone starts feeling sympathy for him. Melissa says not to worry because the people who made fun of him are all dead now. Todd thanks her, but says he's very tired and needs to sleep. After they leave, Philip says that people used to make fun of him too when he was a child, but Melissa doesn't care and goes to sleep. The next day, Carol sends Todd and Melissa out together to help them bond. Philip says he'll come along too, but Carol pretends to be sick and says he should stay back and take care of her. Outside, Todd and Melissa enjoy a lot, while Philip, burning with jealousy, keeps watching them. He prays that Melissa doesn't fall in love with Todd, but Melissa is already almost falling for him. Later, Philip meets Carol, who tells him that Melissa said she's going out again with Todd. Philip is shocked and says that they should also go along to see how far their relationship has progressed. Carol agrees. Later, Philip again mocks Todd and suggests playing tennis without clothes. Todd shamelessly removes his clothes. Philip thinks Melissa will feel disgusted seeing Todd naked, but instead she asks about a scar on his stomach. Todd tells her that he donated a kidney to his stepbrother, but it didn't suit him and he died. Saying this, Todd starts crying and walks away, with Melissa following him. Philip, who always interferes, goes after them and sees Melissa kissing Todd. Carol arrives and says it's great that they've finally come together. Philip thinks that fate has finally kicked him hard. That night, Philip goes to Melissa's house to turn her against Todd. He says she shouldn't trust fat people so easily because they're not trustworthy and that Todd will one day betray her. Melissa replies that she knows how cheap and low Philip is and goes inside. Philip stays there, apologizing and admitting that Todd is actually a very good man and that maybe he's acting this way because for the past 2 years he's only been talking to toys. Hearing this, Melissa opens the door and asks if he really talks to toys. He says yes and takes her to meet them. She greets them and asks Philip to tell the truth about his favorite movie. He says The Godfather is his favorite. She asks why he lied earlier. Philip says he doesn't know, maybe because he always wanted a girl like her, but instead he got Carol, whom he insults. He asks if he has any chance with her, and she clearly says no. Changing the topic, Philip says he had actually thought of that line for Carol and asks how it was. Melissa says it was perfect. The next day, when Philip is relieving himself in his pool, Carol comes and tells him to clean it because the whole neighborhood smells. Philip refuses because he likes doing it there. Later, he goes to meet Todd, who is sitting outside drinking coffee. Philip asks about the noises coming from their house the previous night. Todd says he spent the entire night with Melissa. Philip feels terrible but pretends to be happy. Melissa arrives and asks Todd to come inside because she needs his help. Philip offers to help, but Melissa says only Todd can do that. Todd tells Philip that Melissa wants to spend another wedding night and goes inside. When Philip reaches home, he again hears loud noises, meaning the work has started again. Feeling miserable, he jumps into his pool of alcohol. At night, while trying to sleep, he again hears the noises. The next morning, while having breakfast with Carol, she tells him that these days Melissa and Todd do nothing but spend wedding nights together. Philip gets irritated and tells her not to talk nonsense. Just then, the noises start again, making Philip furious. Carol says that if he doesn't like the noise, he can stop it. After all, he is the president of America. Hearing this, Philip gets an idea. That night, he calls a conference and shows them a complaint board, saying that from now on all society complaints will be written there. He writes the first complaint himself, that Todd and Melissa should not shout loudly while doing their work. Melissa asks what business it is of his what she and Todd do. Philip asks Carol if she doesn't know he's the president of America. Melissa calls it nonsense. Philip suggests voting on whether the noise should stop, but no one raises their hand except him, so the complaint is rejected. Then Carol asks who wants Philip to clean his dirty pool. All three raise their hands, meaning Philip now has to clean it. After that, Todd and Melissa go inside again to spend time together. The next morning, Philip starts cleaning his filthy pool, feeling extremely angry while doing it, thinking, why does this always happen to me? Just then, Melissa comes to talk to him. She apologizes for making those noises. Philip says it's okay and tells her that they can continue their program. He then adds that if he hadn't done the fireworks that day, Todd wouldn't be here, and their wedding night would have gone perfectly. Melissa replies that now she has Todd, and saying this, she leaves. Philip sits there and starts making plans. After that, he takes Todd on a long drive. On the way, he makes an excuse and tells Todd that the car tire has gone flat and asks him to get out and check it. As soon as Todd gets out, Philip drives away, leaving him there. Todd keeps standing there, hoping Philip will come back for him. Philip actually intends to leave him there and go home. But after going some distance, Philip suddenly stops the car and starts shouting at himself, wondering what he was about to do. Even though he doesn't want to, he returns to Todd. After that, both of them head back home together. As soon as they reach home, Philip first cleans his dirty pool and then surprises Carol by showing her his portable bathroom. Seeing this, Carol becomes very happy. That night, while everyone is sitting together, Todd shows them dolls that he made with his own hands. Both women are very impressed by them, while Philip pretends to be happy too. Todd places the dolls on a table near Philip, but Philip deliberately knocks them down and says it fell by mistake. Todd calmly says it's okay and that he'll fix them again. Hearing this, both women get impressed once more, thinking Todd is amazing. The next day, Philip goes to meet his friends and complains that Todd has made his life miserable and that everyone only talks about him, as if no one cares about Philip anymore. As he comes out, he sees something that shocks him. It's a cow. He quickly rushes home and gathers everyone, saying that behind this door is something that will blow their minds. When he opens the door, everyone is shocked to see a live cow. Todd says they can get milk, curd, and cheese from the cow, and that he has experience raising cows at his uncle's farm. Once again, both women are impressed. But Philip says the cow belongs to him and that he's allergic to all dairy products, so the cow will stay there. Before they can decide where the cow should stay, it walks into the garden and starts eating grass. Todd ties it to a tree and milks it, showing a bowl of milk. The women get excited and start drinking it. Philip waits for his turn, but Todd reminds him that he's allergic to milk, so he can't drink it. Philip's face falls, and he walks away angrily, saying that no matter what happens, he will drink milk. That night, he secretly milks the cow and starts drinking. Suddenly, he sees someone coming, so he hides behind a rock. He sees Melissa and Todd coming to get milk to make tea. Burning with jealousy, Philip unties the cow so he can blame Todd for its escape. The next morning, Todd runs to the women and tells them the cow is missing. Everyone searches for it, but can't find it. Todd takes the blame, saying he must not have tied it properly. Philip also blames Todd, but pretends to help him find the cow, saying he'll go to hell if needed to find it. Melissa, who knows Philip well, asks him if he knows where the cow is. He denies it and suggests they search together. They divide the city map into 4 parts. Melissa asks where Philip's friend's bar is, saying she wants to check there because she doesn't trust him. She goes there directly, while Philip secretly follows her. Melissa comes out empty-handed. Philip goes inside, doesn't find the cow there either, and wonders where it could be. He goes searching, but Todd finds the cow first. Philip feels jealous, but still praises Todd. Todd then asks Philip to tell the women that Philip was the one who found the cow. Philip asks why. Todd explains that because Philip put up that board saying a man was still alive, he came to this town and met Melissa. Now he has a friend and a cow, and he's happy, all because of Philip. That night, Philip tells everyone that he found the cow. Everyone is happy. Later that night, Carol starts screaming loudly. Everyone rushes to her house and finds that the cow has entered her home. Philip mocks her. Carol says it's fine and decides to let the cow stay there, and also says it's time for her to start living with her husband at his house. Philip becomes sad and embarrassed. Later, when they're in bed, Carol starts applying coconut oil to her legs. Philip gets very angry, wondering what kind of woman he's stuck with. On top of that, Carol sleeps wearing an oxygen mask that makes loud noises, so Philip can't sleep. But he's helpless. The next morning, Philip comes downstairs and notices something wrong with his painting. Someone has drawn a puppy on it. He asks Carol who did it and tells her not to touch his paintings again. Then he notices that his dirty magazines are missing. Carol tells him she packed them and kept them in the garage. Philip says he needs them to run his handcart, but Carol gives him an advertising plate and tells him to use that instead. This becomes too much for Philip. He leaves the house, and while leaving, Carol hands him a shopping list. Philip buys all the items on the list, gathers them together, sets them on fire, and curses God, asking why all this is happening to him. He complains that the fat guy got a beautiful woman like Melissa while he got rotten trash. He says he also deserves a beautiful woman to enjoy life with. Just then, a car stops in front of him, and 2 beautiful women step out. Seeing this, Philip thanks God for listening so quickly. The 2 women are also shocked to see Philip, and think that they've finally found someone to spend a wedding night with. Now, who are these 2 women? And will Philip finally get to spend a wedding night with them? Or does fate have something even worse in store for him? To find out, keep watching. Thank you.